So I grew up across the street from a fire station, and
Okay.
the fire whistle would go off, and you see the guys show up, putting their gear on, getting in. It was all volunteer. It wasn't a paid
Right.
station. So, these are guys that are with their families. They're dropping everything at the drop of a dime, getting up in the middle of dinner, getting up in the middle of the night, showing up and just being there for people they don't even know. And to me, that spoke volumes for who these men are.
Yeah,
So,
it sounds like even at that age, you were very conscious of the man you wanted to be, and you saw that and you wanted to emulate that to a degree.
oh, definitely. I wanted to be, that guy that people go, oh, that's a good guy, that he helps people, he goes out of his way to do things for others. It was just something I always thought was admirable growing up, watching all the volunteer firefighters, volunteer EMTs just going above and beyond for people that they've maybe never met before in their lives.
So you're kind of unlike myself. You're introduced to that medical culture before you enlisted.
I just knew if I wouldn't got into the military, I never would have went anywhere. And there's a lot of people that live around me that, a half hour drive's far.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't want to go do this because it's on the other side of the county, and which realistically is like 35 minutes. I give a lot of people credit. It's very comfortable. We have pretty much everything we need locally.
Yeah. Well, you had that curiosity. I've graduated and I've come back and I've realized some people they have no they don't want to leave, and that's fine. Some people like yourself, they just got to go.
I went to the Navy recruiter because of my buddies that were in.
Right.
Had a couple of guys that were in my high school class, and they were like, "Hey, we should do the buddy program." Nobody else wanted to be a corpsman. They wanted to go be like aviation mechanics and
Did you say the
do.
buddy program?
Yeah, there was like a buddy program you could join with a friend, and then
Really?
send you to basic
It's a
training
good.
at the same time.
Wow, that's like a really good idea. I never heard of the buddy program. You nervous? You can go with a friend of yours. You can,
Yeah,
it's crazy. That's a great idea. Wow.
yeah. Well, two of the guys that left with me, they were twin brothers,
Oh, wow.
and their older brother was in, so he went a few
The
years ahead of us, and then we went in after him.
He
But I
was
think
talking like, "Yeah, the buddy program," and then I'm like, "Wait," it's like, "It's great." That makes so much sense, though.
we had I mean, for the size of our area, we had a lot of guys going right at the same time. I think there was about seven of us
Yeah, that's a lot.
from like the same, pretty much two towns, like neighboring towns. And, we just all went out pretty much within the same month.
That's great because I mean, considering I think like recruiters are supposed to get like one person a month or something like that. It's not a very high number. So to have
Well,
seven people from a tiny town, tiny
Our,
area,
our recruiters down here, man, they were kicking ass. They were
yeah.
just hitting people with the basic left and right.
You grew up in I'm sure in a very patriotic, have people who have a sense of country, sense of duty. They're around that culture. I'm sure there was a lot of that too going on.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
we're like a small farming community. There's a lot of farming, nurseries. We're down at like the Delaware Bay Shore.
mhm.
So there's like, commercial fishermen in the area, but mostly farming, nurseries.
Did you know the track that you could potentially go on as a corpsman? Because I'll be honest, I was so naive. I was 27, so I was 10 years older than you in terms of going in. I'm older than you in general, but
Mm.
uh, so I had no idea, and I picked corpsman because I knew I wanted to go into medical in like in terms of being a nurse, but I remember like week 9 of boot camp, I think week 8 or I can't remember. Toward the end, some senior chief came in, and when you're in boot camp, a senior chief, you're like, the senior chief walked in, called all the corpsmen over, and it was like 4 of us or 5 of us, and he was basically like he was cordial, but then he just cut to the chase, and he said, "Listen, you're all corpsmen. Don't get this Navy shit in your head. You're all going with the Marines." Oh, I was like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" So yeah, I was really naive. Did you go in uh, understanding the connection that corpsmen have with Marines? What was that discovery for you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I knew the war was hot. knew that corpsmen were the ones that are on the battlefield and they're like EMTs on steroids, just getting
Yeah,
shot at and laying down fire and, just getting the whole combat experience plus some, I had
yeah,
I went to like an event at the VFW and there was this old salt bag from Vietnam and the dude
yeah,
was just like that grizzled combat veteran, didn't really say much, but you knew he was about that business.
yeah.
And, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm going to go into the Navy as a corpsman, go work with the Marines. I know the war's hot right now. I'll just jump in the action. And he said, son, step over here. So, just step into my office.
Yeah,
So
yeah. This guy, he was an operator. This guy's an operator. Like you, you're an operator, but he was an operator.
take a little walk away from the horseshoe pits, just out of earshot from everybody. And he's like, son, let me tell you something. Being a corpsman is the best thing that there is in the entire world. He was like, you're out there, they rely on you. It's your job to be like bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter, and do everything they do, plus carry your medic bag. And he's like, and you know what? At the end of the day, he goes, when you're in combat, they don't call for God, they don't call for their mother, they call for Doc.